Hey there, my friends and family. It's been a while. I actually just got a message from a subscriber that was super sweet, just kind of checking on us because I haven't posted anything in about 3 months, and it's true. We've been kind of focused on our animals this year because we're adding to our animals, and so I do have some video to share. And I did take a walk through the garden. Of course, we have a garden this year because we have to have a garden every year because that's where our food comes from. So anyway, I will show you what's going on and just kind of want to catch up. Thank you, Grace. It lit a fire under me and I really appreciate it because I was just, I don't know, I was just getting complacent. But anyway, let's kind of take a look at what's going on. So we finally added a real good way to do our water because we are still cutting some cedar, and so Pete has burn piles. We needed a way to have water out there so that it doesn't get past us. The other thing is that we have a lot of trees that are out in the pasture and we need to water those. So it's really simple. We got it used and we got a great deal on it and we really love it. So I thought I'd give a little update on the chickens and my chicken feeder. It's working absolutely wonderfully. I had to make a few adjustments inside. I changed the where the feed falls and put a little grill in it. And so we're having pretty much zero waste, and we can put about 80 pounds of feed in it, and it is working really, really well. I'm super happy. So I don't know if I've shown this before, but Pete built this for me, and it's basically a washing and drying station, and it's been pretty wonderful. That way I don't have to bring dirty things into the house, and so it's keeping our sink cleaner. And then these beds we added, um, and I've got some more cucumbers going there, and then those are sweet potatoes. And my sweet potatoes came, and I didn't think they were going to make it. I'll put a little picture in. But they did, and they're doing well. Okay, now we'll go in my embarrassing high tunnel. So we had 8 inches of rain in about 2 hours, and it was a bit overwhelming. So you can see I have dirt that just flooded into the tunnel. So it's kind of a mess. I've got a bunch of cherry tomatoes this year and some peppers there down in the front. We did make pickles and used our dill, which was really lovely. There's some more peppers. I'm trying to think of. And then there's my artichoke. And we actually got lots and lots of artichokes to the point we were kind of sick of them. And then I whacked it way back. And now it's, just late summer. So no more artichokes for the year, but we'll have more next year. But it's a lot of artichokes. Those are San Marzanos on the left. And I still have a lot of empty space, but I'm really happy with my strawberries. That was the smartest thing that I have done in a really long time. So I'm very happy with that. And I got tons and tons of strawberries. So I got to a point where I was so sick of processing them that I was giving to my neighbors. Here is a pepper plant that I will never be able to eat anything that's produced from it. But Pete wants to do a very hot fermented hot sauce, and these are Carolina Reapers, and they're starting to ripen. They're really kind of cool looking, but I'm afraid to even touch them. So I'm going to give up on Amish paste. The rain was just too much for them, so they're all splitting, and they're a giant paste tomato, but I don't think they're going to work for me. So I'm going to pull these out, and I'll probably clone my roadsters there. So speaking of roadsters, here are my roadsters, and they always do fabulous for me. So I think next year I'm going to plant a whole row of them down the center. This is a good spot for them because when we get a big rain, they don't get inundated, and so they stay really beautiful. I planted contender green beans this year, which I've never grown before. They're very prolific, but they're a little bit fuzzy, so they're a little bit harder to wash up than my jade beans, but they taste really good and they have a really good texture. So they've been producing like crazy, and I haven't picked in a couple days, so it's back loaded again. But I'm very happy with the taste. So this is what I've got going for kind of the second round. It's winter squashes, so pumpkin, spaghetti squash, butternut squash, acorn squash, some blue Hubbard, and that'll go out in a couple weeks. And we still have more figs. We need to give them away because we don't need them. So we got quite a bit of asparagus this year, and it's always fun because it's the first thing in the spring. But we have so much coastal hay, and the asparagus just can't compete with it. So we're going to actually move it this fall, and we're going to move it to the main garden, and hopefully it will have less competition. So this was potatoes and onions, and I got about 400 pounds of potatoes and, I don't know, 200 pounds of onions. And beets, and we've given them away, and we've got a million beets. Those are my cucumbers out there, and they fell down. We had a big wind and it pulled them down. And then we've got some squash and some tomatoes, and we'll see how those do. Not expecting much, but we'll see. And then along here is butternut squash and zinnias. A few volunteer watermelons this year. I think there's 3 right now, but that we don't even eat them, so it's fine. This is where all the winter squash and all the squash plants that I'm growing currently will go, and I think we're just going to do mounds. So these are Calypso beans. We had kidney beans in here, and we already harvested those. And then there's our corn patch, which is glass gem. So that's kind of fun. We like doing kind of different corn every year. And we had a lot of wind, and so it kind of bent down. Now it's growing back up. We've had really good pollination on this corn, and so we're pretty happy about that. We don't know when it'll be ready, but soon. And the orchard is maturing. We didn't get any fruit this year because we had a late freeze that kind of wreaked havoc with all sorts of things, including our garlic. But the trees look pretty good, and we had so much rain this year. Our pastures look absolutely amazing this year, and we had an amazingly good wildflower season. So that was really, really fun. So I talked about a big rain that we had, and here are pictures of our pond, which is currently full. So that's been kind of nice. So as I said before, we have put some energy into our livestock this year, and here are our 3 new little baby steers for this year.
They didn't want to get in front, now they won't get out.
Yeah.
I should have called the other cows over. There we go.
Well, the grape came in handy then.
And not to forget the big cowboys. They're looking absolutely beautiful. Here's a picture of them. And they are probably going to go to the processor in about 3 weeks. And of course, Gus and Woodrow are still adorable. And we have a new boy on our ranch. He doesn't have a name, and he wandered in, and here he is. He's a black buck, and we are really enjoying him. I've also done a few things in the house, and I've been working on lots of new embroidery designs, and because it's hot. So now you're up to date with what's going on at our place. Hope everyone has a wonderful day. Love y'all.